There we go. Nice fish right here. Really nice fish. Just a beauty. This is an area that under normal conditions, nobody be fishing here. But here it is. This is usually really skinny water out here. And you can see this big old boy slipped over here, got in this nice deep trough, popped him with the streamer. Just a beautiful brownie here. Just a beauty. Just a stud of a fish. Yes. Thank you there, buddy. Solid 18-incher. Oh yeah. 19. It's a stud. You inhaled that thing. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. That's pretty sweet. So this area is usually, I mean, ankle deep water, but everything is up. I'm sure this fish just dropped down, got in this nice trough. I mean, you can see this really slow bank. It's deep, and he was sitting right down here, and it's just perfect spot for him. And that's what this day is going to be about. It's just going to be about picking the right areas, picking the right spots, and just, you know, you have to really lower your expectations when you're hitting your favorite streams when it's just up. You know, you got to deal with what you're dealt with, the hand you're dealt with, and this is what we're dealt with. So you just got to kind of readjust and try to figure it out and shy away from those normal spots and just pick out areas like this. And you might have to do a lot of cherry picking along the way, but if you do it right, those are the rewards you can have right there. So you can see that riffle, you see that log jam right there, and there's a rock, and that riffle where it starts there on the left side, there's that trough where I just caught that really nice brownie. And I just want to point out that it is 12 o'clock. I mean, it's actually just before 12, sunny day, it's 80 degrees out. So don't think that you cannot catch trout or big trout when it's warmer and sunny, because you absolutely can. You just got to be smart about it. And just like anything else, you just got to work hard and just concentrate on your drifts. That's all you got to do. But you can absolutely catch fish when it's warm and sunny. Is it ideal? No. But once again, when you're going fishing, you're going fishing. Sometimes we can't always pick ideal conditions. I do like this water here. It's some nice color. That's the one thing about the creek. It's really up, but the color is pretty darn good. This is a nicer area right here. It's slower, especially this whole left edge. I'm gonna work this whole section with the streamer. There's a fish. There we go. So I was getting ready to say, I'm gonna work this whole section with the streamer, and I might come back and nymph it. Good looking little brownie. Boy, look at those orange spots. Good gracious, look at that tail too. All the red on that tail. Beautiful fish, beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm gonna work this with a streamer. I'm not gonna wait out there. I can make long casts, and then I'm gonna drop back down and nymph it. It just looks really good. That's the beauty about having this heavy streamer on. I can really chuck it out there pretty far and work a lot of water. There's a fish. That's a better one too. Oh yeah. Back-to-back cast. Kind of the same area. There's a rock over there, and it was just on the upstream side of that rock. Well, he looked a lot bigger when he jumped. I mean, it's 14-incher, beautiful fish. Just thought he was bigger. I'm not complaining. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you, buddy. A little blood from the one nut. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Yeah, there's a rock right there. It's probably 25 feet out from me. And just like that other fish before, he was on the upstream side of that rock. It's all about choosing the right water. I mean, I love this creek here, but there's just a lot of spots I'm just not gonna be able to fish today. Just the fish will not be there. And I'm honestly, where I'm fishing right now, a lot of times you can't fish because there's no water under normal conditions. There's a little guy. I love the little brookie. Boy, he's a pretty little fish. I love the spunk hitting that streamer. Look at that guy. Boy, he's a pretty guy. I love the spunk. Thank you there, Mr. Brookie. There we go. Got a rod bender. Decent fish. Just kind of there's 3 or 4 rocks out there. And I just made a far cast up and he was sitting at the furthest rock right in front of it. Pretty brownie here. Real pretty fish. 14-incher. Just a solid chunk. Solid chunk. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Brown. That was cool. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rocks out there. That 4th rock is about 25 feet away. He was just upstream of that. And you can see the gradient picks up here. A lot of water pushing, but it's flowing through over that bank. Looks awesome over there. I just can't get to it. I might actually, I could wade out here. But this, you see this beautiful eddy right here. It's just this moving eddy. I love those things. And this is just ideal in this water, but I still might drop back down and come through that water I just fished and nymph it, just because I've just seen a lot of bugs, and sometimes these trout, they just could get heated on nymphs. Okay, so I just dropped back down. I'm gonna refish this. I changed my rig. I went to a nymphing rig, and a lot of times when I hit the stream and I only want to bring one rod, I'll bring a couple reels. So I just got a little fanny pack, and I have another reel where I have a streamer leader on, and I have an extra spool in case I want to start throwing dry. So I'm kind of armed for bear today, and that's the beauty about just being a little versatile. And I mean, I just took maybe 10 minutes on the side of the stream just to switch out, and it's just kind of nice to do that and get a reset too. So I really feel like I can pick a few up nymphing this area, because this is a really good looking area. There we go. I felt pretty good about nymphing this. There we go. Nice jumping brownie. I got a size 14 Jack Daniels on the bottom. That's what he hit. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Appreciate it, buddy. So this is an area that I've already come through with a streamer. Just went to the bank, refocused, changed my rig up, dropped back down, and I don't know, that wasn't even 5 casts, I think, and picked up that brownie. And I had already worked this with a streamer, so it just shows you sometimes they want the nymph, sometimes they want the streamer. There we go. Boy, I just kept working the front of that rock. Just felt like there was a fish there. Just kept working it until I got the perfect drift. We whacked it. I made a weight change too. I had a 3-3 bead on and I switched over to a 2-8. So I was bouncing the bottom too many times. Still a size 14 jack he hit. Look how pretty that is. Good Lord, look at those beautiful orange spots. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. But there's a rock, probably 20 feet in front of me right here. He was right in front of that rock. I love the front of rocks. Love them. They just get right in front of that. There's that cushion right in front of the rock and they just sit there, and just people want to let their bugs get to the rock and they want to lift it up because they think they're going to get stuck on the rock, and a lot of times it's going to slide around or go up. But just keep that rod steady and let it get right to the rock. Don't move it. There we go. How many drifts did I make through there? How many drifts? He hit the dropper. Got a size 18 coolie on. I must have made 20 drifts through that spot. Just came upstream, couple steps, and he popped it. Even the little guys need perfect drifts. That's why I always say, I mean, I repeat it all the time, every fish teaches you something, including the little ones. There's a caddis in my net. These wild trout want perfect drifts. There you go. Every trout you catch, you should feel good about it because you did something right. Even though that was a little guy, I mean, there's that rock that I was trying to work. I don't know how many casts I made around that, nothing. And then I was working this area here and I made a few more steps up and I got him. And I had that sighter vertical and he was just below me, so it was really bottoming out there. So I'm really getting vertical there. So I feel like as I take a few more steps up, I'm gonna get some better drifts over the fish, because there's some nice rocks up here ahead of me. He whacked it over there. Let's see if I can get that guy. Tuck it pretty hard there. There we go. tucked it hard. That was in the same spot. I really think it's the same fish. Right on the edge of that fast current, and just really had to tuck it hard to get it in there. He hit I went over to a size 16 olive flash Perdigon. Nice fish. There we go. Real nice fish. Nice chunk. Good looking brownie right there. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you, buddy. So you can see that white water over there, and he was right on the edge of that faster water. And I believe the first cast over there, he hit it and I missed him, but I didn't sting him. And I just kept working it, and I had made some poor drifts. And that cast, I really tucked it hard, and I got tight to my bugs, and I was able to access the bottom, and I really slowed that drift down, and he hit it in the same spot. So I just went to the bank, ate a sandwich, re-rigged. A lot of times I like to re-rig my tippet. Came out here, walked out, first cast, had a hit, boom, up into the trees. We've all been there, right? The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Everything is getting ready to break, I can tell you that much. Always try to grab it above, below the tippet ring. That way it's just going to be your tippet. It's going to break. And look at that. And I just lost my fly. That's it. So, not that much of a tragedy. And I lost my bottom fly, which is even better. So, we'll get back at it. Let's get another fly on. A couple more steps up here. You see this nice slow spot right here. So I'm going to work this first, and then I'll get that backside. Got to tuck it in pretty hard. That's a good drift. Real good drift. There we go. Knew there'd be a fish there. Knew it. And that was a straight upstream cast. Thank you, everybody. That was straight upstream. Tucked it in, and right away I could tell my drift was stabilized, and then I just worked it right back to the rod tip. He hit the olive flash, size 16. Just really nice drift right there. And I feel like when I walk up here a little bit more, I'll get an even better drift. Take a couple steps up here. go. Haha. Nice fish too. Nice fish. There's a rock right there. He was tucked right in front of it. Working the stream 2 steps at a time. It's a really nice fish here. Real nice fish. 17 inches at least, I think. 16, 17. Get him up there. Here we go. There we go. That's a stud. That is a stud right there. There's 17, 18 inches right there. $18 inches. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Thank you there, buddy. Ah. Tangled all around my tip. That's okay. I'll take that after catching a fish like that. So I was standing right here, making those same casts, really. I took 2 steps up. There's a rock probably 12 feet in front of me right there. I tucked it in up there. It got right there, just to the right side of that rock. Boom, and he nailed it. That was pretty sweet. Let's go to the bank, re-rig it again. There's a slower moving eddy over there. Let's just try that. It might be a little heavy, but tuck one down in here. Get in the right position. There might be somebody home here. Oh, I'm getting slow there. Yeah, I can slow it down. Pretty good drift right there. There we go. I tucked that thing hard. Got heavy water. Ah. That's okay. These are all good signs. And I say this before too. We all want to catch them, that's for sure, but you have to take some satisfaction in knowing that you made a great tuck cast, you felt like there was going to be a fish there, and boom, he hit it. So I didn't close the deal on it, but still pretty satisfied. All right, this looks really nice right here. Tuck it in there. That's a good drift. Real good drift. There we go. Just such a good drift. I had it going just on the outside edge there. Nice fish. Real nice fish. He hit the olive flash. String in there. There we go. Nice chunk. Nice chunk. Look at that guy. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate it. You can see it's heavy water there, but it's nice. It's a little bit slower. You can see that rock up there, and you can see that fast water here. I had it just on the outside of that, tucked it in there, and I had it cooking down just perfectly on the edge. Great drift, and he nailed it kind of right in front of me there. You know, I think today's a perfect example. I know a lot of guys that were not fishing here because it's really, the CFS is, it's pretty darn high, and people look at that gauge and they think, oh, just, it's unfishable, I can't do it. But you can see that, I mean, the fish do not stop feeding. They just don't. And the water clarity is not bad at all. It's actually perfect. But it just shows you, if you concentrate on the areas that are slower, that's where the fish are gonna be. So even in super heavy flows, you can always find some fishable water. There's actually a lot of fishable water, a lot of fishable. I actually like it like this because it keeps everybody away. I feel like I have the whole place to myself. But I am really not having a problem catching fish today. There's another fish right there. Not a problem. Getting ready to cast, and I saw my sighter twitch. But not having a problem, as you can see, catching fish today. I'm using small bugs. I got a size 16 on the bottom. I started out streamers. Had a 14 jack on, I was getting them on, and then I caught a few in that one area, and then I just felt like there was more, so I changed my bug to an olive flash. Started picking them up on that, and I just kept that on. And it also shows you that you don't need super heavy bugs too. Thank you there, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You don't need super heavy bugs. I mean, people think, well, it's heavy current, I gotta be throwing heavy bugs, but you know, you get into these slower areas, you can make great drifts. And speaking of flies, you know, when I went to the olive flash down there, I'd worked the area, I had my Jack Daniels on, I caught a few fish on that, and I just felt like there was more fish, so I changed my fly up. I wanted to give them something else to look at, something different, and that's what I do when I change flies. So the Jack Daniels is really natural looking, so I'm not gonna go to say, look at this, lines in the water, had a fish hit it. So I'm not gonna go to a fly that, say, a waltz. I'm not gonna go from a Jack Daniels to a natural waltz. I'm gonna go kind of the opposite way. I go natural, then I go to flash, and that's what I did. So I want to give them something completely different to look at. So I went to the olive flash Paragon, which is completely different. Actually sized down too. I went from a 14 to a 16, and I caught fish out of an area that I already ran the jack through, and then I just started having success, and I've just stuck with it. But clearly they're in there. I mean, they're hitting the fly dangling in the water. So let's let this wind calm down and then work a little bit more. Go. I think he hit a couple casts before there. The olive flash. Everything's been on the bottom fly. I caught one on the dropper. That's it. They're hugging the bottom. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. You can just see heavy current. You can see this side maybe 40 feet out and in. It's much slower. A couple rocks right there. This is just a great looking run right here. These fish are feeding pretty heavily. I mean, I've had pretty consistent luck since I started. There just really hasn't been any lull whatsoever. It's just been a really great day. A lot of fun today. That felt like a hit right there. Oh, God. All right, I've had a couple hits there. I'm gonna rest it. Well, I gotta get this twist out of my line. I'm gonna light up a cigar, give it a break, and go back and catch those fish. Okay, so I lit a cigar and gave it a little rest. Let's get back at it now. All right, let's put on a different fly. Give me something else to look at here. Go to a jack. Look at that. First cast. Oh, good fish. Oh, good fish. I'll tell you what I did here in a minute. Oh man, it's a big fish. Big fish. Ah, damn it. God. He was a stud. Boy, he whipped me downstream really quick, and I will seriously bust my ass running after that fish, but damn. So I'll tell you what I did there. I'd fished the hell out of that spot. I just knew there was fish there. I fished it with the olive flash, then I went to a Jack Daniels and nothing. So I cut my dropper off, went to a chartreuse mop, first cast, nailed it. And I had made 20 drifts over that spot. Just shows you how important it is to fly change. And what I did is I had olive flash, I went to a natural, and then I went to something completely out of the ordinary, a big old chartreuse mop, and he nailed it. Man, that was a good fish. That was gonna be tough to get in. I thought maybe I had a chance when I got him here, but it was just a little fast and furious. Damn, that was a solid 18-incher. Well, gonna lick my wounds and get back at it. So you can see there's a rock right there. I just tucked it in, I had it vertical, and he hit right in front of me, 15 feet in front of me. Made multiple drifts there. It just shows you when you're in a really trouty looking spot and you're making really good drifts, sometimes it is a fly change. You know, they always talk about whoever they are, they always say, well, the fly doesn't matter, it's all about the presentation. And the reason people say that is because people focus too much on the fly and not presentation. So what happens when you do have the perfect presentation and you're not getting fish? Then the fly does matter, and clearly it mattered there because I made the same exact drift 20 times, nothing. Switched flies twice, went to the mop, and he nailed it. So sometimes the fly absolutely does, not sometimes, the fly does matter a lot of the times when you are getting the perfect presentation. That skinny water. There we go, nice fish there. Real nice fish. Super skinny water there. Keep it in this pocket right here so I can get a net on it. Get below it here. Get it up in this pocket. That's a nice brownie. Real nice fish. Go. There we go. Good looking brown. Thank you there, Mr. Brown. There you go, buddy. Pretty sweet. That's maybe a, well, I'm staying in shin deep water, and that's what that is right there. Just, you can see this massive heavy current here, but here that fish is in that super skinny water. And I can tell you, on a day like today, well, there's nobody out here, but a day like today, everybody's gonna walk by that water. And I just popped a little one out before that, and then I just got that beauty right there. People are gonna think that fish just won't get up in this stuff. And I can tell you, earlier they weren't, but I feel like they're up in here now. I mean, I've caught a lot of fish up in this heavier water now. So that was pretty awesome. And just a little tip I can give you on fighting fish like that. So a lot of people, you know, you don't want to sit there and get in a tug of war with it, because the more you get in a tug of war, the more it's going to want to take off downstream. So I was standing right here. Hooked that fish over there, but it came over here, and there was this eddy right here. So I just took a couple steps over and kind of guided it in there. And a lot of times, especially those bigger fish, they want to get down in that deep water. A lot of times they actually go down and up, and that's exactly what it did. And I was able to get a net on them. One thing you don't want to do is high stick it, because they're going to go downstream. So I'm going to be calling it quits. Boy, I had a heck of a day. I really caught fish from the moment I started to the moment I ended, and just really had no lulls. And I can tell you, and I hope you really got something out of this video, because you know, this is peak season here. Pulled up into the parking lot and there was nobody here. It was just me and my buddies. We had the whole stream to ourselves, and I know why there weren't people here is because they looked at the gauge, they saw it was raging, and they just said, you know, there's no way I can fish it. Fish aren't gonna bite, it's un-wadable. And you can see I had no problem wading today, and the fish had their feed bags on. They never stop feeding just because the water gets high. And a problem, or a mistake I should say, that people make is they go to their stream when it's high and they go to their favorite spots. You know, you want to go to that favorite riffle, but then you can't fish it because it's just raging. And you know, you saw what I did. I was really cherry picking the stream today. I was looking for all those soft edges. I fished slower water, the big breaks behind boulders, and I mean, I would walk past 100 yards of stream and not fish it. looking for the spot that I knew the fish were in. And so I hope you got something out of this video. Also, you know, I do bring a couple spools with me. I get asked that all the time. So I had an extra reel, and you saw I was jigging streamers earlier, and then I went to nymphs after that, and then it was nymphs all afternoon. And I also have an extra spool with me in case a hatch comes up, which, you know, I still have some fishing time left, so it might happen. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I'm happy to help you out. And just remember, don't shy away from that high water. It's great fishing and less people. Tight lines, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.